Hello and welcome to what has to be my favorite home transformation yet. Today we're doing a massive transformation to our dining room, which has to be the one room that I've been waiting for anxiously, because ever since getting this house, I immediately had a vision for this room, and spoiler alert, it turned out to be even better than I could have ever imagined. So let's get started. All right, so it's officially the time to start with our dining room makeover. So let me give you a quick little walkthrough of our plans and basically the layout of the room. This is the first thing you see when you walk in. This is the original chandelier that the house came with. This room actually has crown molding all throughout. And actually, the frames of the door, excuse the mess over there, we moved a lot of stuff from here over there. The frames from the door are also beautiful moldings and like intricate designs. I don't know if you guys remember from one of our first videos of our home renovation, but we did extend this wall. This pillar molding was actually all the way over here. As you can see, we ended up cutting all of that to basically open up that wall and bring in more light to the kitchen, and I absolutely love it. So the carpenter slash the guy that did our floors did a good job at preserving this, because this is, I believe, from the 80s and you can't find it anywhere. I tried. And of course, to save up some money on trim, because if you know, you know, these are so expensive. So he preserved it as much as he could, but as you can see closed up, there's still some defects that Eric's going to have to sand and caulk and make it look a little bit better, but that's what that door looks like. And then on this side, we have the same molding design. So what we're thinking is to paint the ceiling and all of the trim around this room the same color. It's going to be either a dark green or dark brown. We don't know. It's probably going to end up being green. You guys know how much I love green. I'm just basically taking a color from the wallpaper. So what we're doing in this room is basically wallpapering all 360, like all 4 walls with wallpaper. It's this beautiful greenery wallpaper that I'm obsessed with. I can't wait to show you guys. And I'm taking a color from the wallpaper and basically painting all the trim in this room. So all this, the ceiling trim, crown molding, the windows, baseboards, the heater, and basically anything that's trimmed. So that's going to be probably a green, to be honest, from the wallpaper. I'm not too sure yet. And then again, the rest is going to be the wallpaper. This furniture piece I'm actually going to end up selling, but in the meantime, we're leaving it here because it's really heavy, and just moving it to the center of the room.
All right, step 1 is rolling out paper. I would advise using frog tape. It's this green masking tape from Home Depot for your floors, because if you leave blue tape on for a long time and then remove it, it leaves like a residue. So this tape is more expensive, but it's better for the hardwood floors. We got the chandelier out. Now I'm gonna install one of these simple little like positive negative wires with a little thread for a light bulb. These are really handy if you're painting or doing work where you're replacing lights. So you just connect the wires and it hangs, and you can connect the light bulb to it. So it's good for painting ceilings, because all light fixtures have this little cap on them that cover a little part of like the actual sheetrock right here. And obviously if that's covered, you can't paint it. So adding these in the meantime helps a lot. Alright, my little portable light is set up. Really simple, just connect the black to black and white to white. And then I bought this thing from Home Depot, it's called a Beyond Light. Really good, or Beyond Bright light. It's really good. LED plugs it into a standard thread for a light bulb, and it's super bright. And you can do it like this, so that it, you know, goes in all angles, so you can see what you're doing. So I'm gonna put this in now, turn on the light. Hopefully I don't get electrocuted. And we'll see what we're doing. You should probably turn the breaker off for this, FYI. I just turned the light off. There's no power running to it. I don't really know how safe that is, but she works. Alright, I removed all of the caps on all, like the plates for all the outlets and the light switches. I removed the hardware on the window, placed the light, took out the diffuser for the air conditioning. I'm gonna have to do a lot of sanding on this because our floor guy put this up. He did a decent enough job for being a floor guy, but there's a bunch of caulk and I'm gonna have to sand it. So I'm gonna put some plastic here and here just to kind of bar this space off. Oh, it's funny doing that in the reverse, huh? How's that feel?
I need total silence. I'm filming.
What? Honey, I'm filming. Like, I need total silence. Alright, day one's almost done. We made some good progress. Sanded down this whole door frame. Added some wood filler. I have to wait for that to dry before I can sand it back. But all the caulking of the trim, first of all, the trim's kind of separated from the wall, so there's a gap, and all the caulk is kind of cracked and messed up. So I'm going to go in with a knife and kind of scrape out all the old caulk, and then see if I can use my nail gun to kind of re-fix that trim to the wall, and then re-caulk everything. Typical fashion, my wife said she wants to add recessed lighting to this room. I said it'd be a lot more work. We already have to do the wallpaper and all the painting. I didn't want the lights, she wanted the lights, so we compromised, and I'm doing the lights. We currently have a three-way light switch. There's one here, there's one there, and there's one behind the camera. Those all run this chandelier light here. So in order to add recessed lights, I need to get power from one of those switches that has constant power. So I open this one up, and this one has a live current running through it even when the light is off. I'm gonna tap my power from this light switch. I have a stud here, so I'm gonna run my wire up, drill a little hole in the wall here and a hole in the ceiling, drill a hole through the studs to route the wire, and there's floorboards running this way. So for these two lights, we're gonna do four, two in each corner. For these two lights, I can just connect them without having to drill through any of the floor joists. But at some point, I'm gonna have to go that way. So I'm either gonna run it back and then through this way, or through that way, and I have this long drill bit for that. So I'm gonna cut a few little holes in the wall just to see what I'm doing, and then run the drill bit through it, and hopefully fish it through. So a general rule, these are weight-bearing floor joists. You can't use a thick drill bit. So the drill bit that I use is a 1/4 inch. Is it a 1/4 inch? That looks bigger, actually. It's 1 inch, okay, yeah. Can't drill through floor joists with a super thick drill because it'll weaken the structural integrity of the floor, so the ceiling will collapse. The floor joists are pretty wide, so you really don't have to worry about it unless you're drilling like a good sized hole. So for this, we're gonna use 1 inch drill bit. That's the diameter, so it's the size hole that it's gonna drill, and I think that'll be fine. I asked a bunch of people, did a bunch of research, and it's not gonna weaken the floor, so wish me luck. To add the recessed lights, we need power. So I found this light switch here, which is 1 of 3. And originally I was gonna add a double junction box, which means 2 switches in one place. One for the chandelier, one for the recessed lights that I'm installing. But honestly, it's kind of inconvenient because I don't really have anywhere to drill because there's another outlet right here, so I can't really widen it in between the studs. So I'm just gonna turn this, connect all the wiring, and add a little junction box, and essentially remove this light switch from this circuit and turn it into the recessed light switch. I hope that made sense. So this light switch will be for the recessed lights, the other two in the other 2 corners of the room will be for the main chandelier light. So in order to put the lights up equidistant, I put one little hole here, one in this corner over here, one in that corner over there, and the last one over in that corner over there. I'm going to have to drill a hole right here, a little window, and also one in the ceiling. And then I'm gonna run my wire up through this hole behind the sheetrock. Through this window here, I'm gonna drill a hole up, and through that window, I'm gonna drill a hole up, and then I'm gonna route the wire up through, parallel to the floor joist to hole number 1, hole number 2. I'm gonna have to cut something perpendicular over to those two. So my little windows are cut. Pro tip, there's nothing behind this wall, right? So if I cut this piece of block out and I don't put something in it to hold on to it, it'll just fall right through and into the floor. And I plan on reusing this as a patch to close that hole with just a little bit of joint compound. So to prevent that, just thread a little screw right into the piece of sheetrock before you cut it. That way while you're cutting, you can just pull it out. It doesn't fall through. You don't have to hold it the whole time, just at the end once you're actually severing the corners. Also, just label them. So I know this one's bottom, I put a little B on it. This one's top, I put a little T on it. I could have used wall, ceiling, whatever, but I know this is the top one, this is the bottom one. All right, it's time to cut out the hole for the recessed light. I'm using a 6-inch, I don't even know what you call this, round drill bit. Essentially going to pull out a hole, and we're using LED lights, not traditional cans. So we only need to, we can put a light right on top of a stud. This is not going to be in front of a stud. It's going to be in that channel in between studs, but it draws like no depth. So I know this one's going to be good. I don't know where those ones are going to end up, but even if it's right into a stud, you're fine because the LEDs are so thin. So I'm gonna drill the first one now. Always wear dust protection. Save your lungs. I always have trouble with these. I don't know what it is. It always like locks up on me. You saw I was like holding the base because if you don't, it'll catch and whip the drill into your face. Just hold the side. And my advice is just to go slow. So you saw me adjusting the torque settings here. I like the hammer drill setting just because it doesn't torque out, but just go slow and eat it piece by piece and don't try and push it too much. Let the blade teeth do the work. Good to go. This incredibly long drill bit is probably too long. I just got my little short 1-inch drill bit just for this little hole. And we're gonna use this hole to feed the wire through to run the lights. Alright, that was harder than I thought. I thought this little hole would be big enough. I tried to extend it that much. I had to extend it all the way. Kind of a weird angle here, so I had to kind of shoot it that way. But now I can run my snake and connect everything up. So this is what's called a snake. It's a thin tube you can run through walls and it's kind of rigid so it holds its shape. Run it through the hole that you're trying to get through, grab it from the other side and tape it to your wire. That allows you to pass your wire. So this is easier to pass. You pass this first and then you tape it together and you pass your wire using the snake. So I'm gonna start doing that now. First, from this hole to this hole, I don't need a snake because it's big, and the difference is between this hole and this hole, it's a little 1-inch hole, so I can't just feed the wire through that, so I need the snake for this part, right here, for the first light. I'm just going to use the wire itself. Go ahead and snake it through, and then I will grab it on this side. You'll see I have the tip right here. Secure that right there. Snake time. So I'm going to find my hole with my finger, put my snake through it, and then reach up through this hole and grab the snake. So here's the snake, right? And all I have to do, tie the snake to the wire with a bit of electrical tape. Make sure it's nice and snug so that it doesn't get lost in the hole. That's what she said. So just make sure that the snake is really tight to the wire so that the wire does not get dislodged from the snake when you're passing it through your drill hole. So that's probably too much tape. Honestly, it's kind of excessive, but I've done this before where I've lost the wire. It's a pain. We're good to go. Now we just feed it through. And just like that, we have our wire. Pull through. We're good. Didn't damage the casing, and now my wire is through both holes, and I can go down and through the wall. We're gonna cover these tools up with sheetrock. That can stay because it's the light. And then the hole that I'm gonna feed it through is a light fixture anyway, so there's already a hole for the junction box, so we'll feed it through. All right, so have my wire up through my light hole and my little window hole here. It's come sticking out of this window here. I just have to now pull it down to my actual outlet hole. So there will obviously be a box in here when I actually replace it, but for now I took the box out so that I can stick my hand up that hole. That's what she said. All right, so 3 holes cut, 4. First hole is for the light. This is my window hole that'll be covered with sheetrock. Second window hole that will also be covered with sheetrock. I have my wire snaked through. I just have to snake it up from the outlet to my first window hole. So that's pretty simple again. Just feed your snake up through. Give it enough slack, or you can actually fit it. So I already broke this thing before, so I have to handle it, but I know we're gonna feed it up and grab it through. So now, same process. Stick this to connect it. This one is really not that hard. So that one I had to make sure I taped it correctly because it was going through a drill hole. This one is just going straight through sheetrock, which is pretty easy to pull through. Keep in mind, this is live right now because that light's on. So everything's capped, we should be fine, but probably better to do that with your breaker turned off. Feed the wire through. And of course, my tape got dislodged, but I got lucky. Now we have our wire. This is what I'm gonna use to route for the outlet. Again, cover up these holes, use this one for this light, and then I'm gonna just route them to the rest of the lights. All right, so I messed that up and it was really annoying. Feed your wire up. You want the excess wire to be here, because then how are you gonna have slack to run it to the other side? So I'm done, but I figured it out. So now we're just gonna run this wire. I wanna make sure I have enough length to reach that second light fixture. Keep running this up through the hole until I have enough slack. Again, this drill point is the tightest point for the wire, so it's gonna be the most annoying to try and feed it through. That should be enough. Yeah, all right. Here we go. I don't know if there's something up there. I did take a picture with my phone, but there must be something in there. Because I can't seem to get my wire across, so I'm just gonna run this guy all the way through and hopefully not have any issues. Grab it from over here. Made it through. I have my snake pass through. I'm gonna run my wiring there and then back, and that's where I'm gonna start my channel over to the other wall where the camera is. So for that, I'm gonna need to run the wire twice. So I'm gonna run the wire and I'm gonna tape this little piece of rope through so that I can use this rope as my shuttle back from that light back to the first light over here. Hope that made sense. Just tape these 3 together. Again, one is going to act as a shuttle, the other one's going to act as like the main snake. Pull this through. And we're through. I'm going to use this shuttle rope to run this wire back, so there's 2 wires in the same path. What that's going to do is it's going to leave me 2 ends on either side that I can actually wire the LED lights at. That's good. Pull this back through, and we're through. I just want to make sure that you like aggressively bend these so they don't pull through. I got one here. I'm going to cut another one so that we have 2. And next is going to run my wire over to that light switch. Here comes the part that I'm most afraid of. I have to drill a hole from this light to that light. And there's beams running along perpendicular to my angle of drilling. So I marked them out there every 15 inch. I should have to drill through 5 of them to get to that light. So I'm gonna try this long bit, and if I can get this all the way through, I can use it to avoid cutting holes in the ceiling. But if not, I'm gonna have to cut 2 little window holes, which isn't that big of a deal, and I might just end up doing that anyway, honestly, but yeah. Alright, long drill bit didn't work. You know, stuff happens, so I'm going to cut a little hole here to drill that way. I'm going to cut a little hole here to drill in both directions. I was able to do the ends through the holes from the light. So I need to cut a hole in the sheetrock here and cut a hole in the sheetrock there. First one done. Hard part's done. No damage. Drilled through all the studs, or joists. All I have are these two holes to show sheetrock, and now I just have to figure out how to pass my little snake through all those holes to route the wire through. We'll start with that side, push the snake that way, pull my wire that way. By some miracle, I got my snake through. Okay, first one's good, second one's good, third one's good, and fourth one's good. We're through. Oh yeah, alright. This is my last little window that I need to drill out because we're going to be able to run the wire from that light over here, and then I can drill here and drill the other one through the hole for the light. That's not a light, that hole there, I don't want you to get confused, that's for the air, like the HVAC, air conditioning. So one more pocket hole here, drill this way, drill that way through this stud from that hole, and then run the wire. Now it's time to run my snake from this hole right here to this window, and we're through. So now we have to take our two wires, strip off the insulated coating, expose the actual copper, and thread it into this box, which is a junction box for our recessed lights. And they're really easy. All you do is push these into the color matching receptacles on the inside of this, and then you screw this into your light and you're good to go. Cut off that outer coating with a knife, just peel it back, and then go wire by wire to strip off the plastic sheath, and you expose the actual copper part, and that's what conducts electricity. So that's the part that we need. I got this tool. It's totally like a wire stripper, I guess, but it makes this job a lot easier. All you do is line it up on the correct size hole, pinch and squeeze, and it pulls off the wire that you need. That's actually too much, so I'm gonna cut a little bit of that off. We'll do the same thing for the black wire. You don't really need to leave a lot for these recessed lights because they don't really go that deep into the receptacle. Essentially what we're trying to do is connect the blacks from these two wires to the black from the light. Same with green, which is ground, and white, which is neutral. And these little tabs make it easy. You just insert whatever color you're matching into the tab, and it connects them all. It's kind of hard to see. So what that looks like is first feeding the wire through, like I mentioned. Then once it's through, get the other one through. And once they're both inside the box, start to color match. Again, it's pretty basic. So put my receptacles on the white, black, and green, which is ground. And the ground wire is like if your house gets electrocuted, it needs a path to go to the ground. So there's a grounding rod outside most people's houses, and your breaker is connected to that grounding rod. So if there is electricity, like a lightning strike, your house won't blow up. I don't really know how it works, to be honest, but not for me. So blacks are in there. It's time for the whites. Just push them in, like I said. These are really easy to do, honestly. You don't need the wire caps, no twisting. Just push them in. And then my green. Now that those are all in, all I have to do is close this little window, shove all my little wires in there. And all this does is essentially protect the wires from getting like stripped or exposed or whatever. Helps to ensure that your wiring will stay correct. And just make sure that none of those got dislodged. I have this white one that keeps popping out. Alright, it's in. It's up. Gotta hide it somewhere. You just leave this tail. And that tail is what you plug into the recessed light. 3 more. So everything's wired. Turn the breaker off this time. I have my 3 wires here. These 2, I'm drawing power from this one, and I'm connecting it to this one, which is connected to my recessed light. So breaker's off. I'm gonna connect everything, turn the breaker on, and see if it worked. Back to the show, folks. New day, same outfit. So, you guys remember originally we had a light switch here that was controlling the chandelier light up there. It was a three-way switch, meaning there's two other switches that operate that light. And we wanted to add recessed lights, but I couldn't fit a double box here to put two light switches, as in keeping one for the chandelier and adding one for the recessed lights. So what I did was, I just fused those two wires together and completed the circuit, so those two other outlets, or those two other light switches still work for the overhead chandelier light, and essentially just made this an open box with nothing in it, and then borrowed power from this outlet down here, snaked the wire up, connected my wiring that I already had done for the recessed lights to the light switch, and actually added this dimmer. So now, now we can dim the overhead recessed lights, which is exciting. So it's actually really nice in here with the recessed lights. I think this room really needed it. My wife said she wants to add recessed lighting to this room. I didn't want the lights, she wanted the lights, so we compromised, and I'm doing the lights. I added 4 of them like we talked about. I wish I did all the recessed lights in our house now, because we hired an electrician to do the ones in the living room and the office. And the guy, instead of cutting my 2 little pocket holes here that I showed you guys that I did to drill through the joists, they just cut this huge, massive channel. And it was like a 5-foot long missing piece of sheetrock that was all jagged and messed up. So it took me forever to fill it, which really delayed us because I had to get the joint compound, and I'm still bad with joint compound, but I was even worse then. It took me forever, but this one actually came out really easy. I only had 3 little holes to fill on the ceiling, and then 1 little one on the ceiling and 1 on the wall over here. But it honestly came out pretty good. I added 2 layers of mud on it. One was like a really heavy duty one to fill in the cracks, and the other one was just like a quick 45 so I could sand it and it would dry quickly. But that's pretty much it. I think the lights came out great. I also went through and sanded everything yesterday, which was a pain in the butt, excuse me. So there's a big chunk of wood filler here to fill this gap. I actually use Bondo auto filler here for these big gaps. It's harder to sand, but it's super strong. So the regular like red Bondo putty wouldn't work. I had to use the big heavy duty stuff. Sanded everything down. I still have to touch this little piece of trim. That'll be easy. So everything's sanded, everything's flush, but that created a lot of dust obviously. So now I just need to go through and clean up all the dust, and then I'll caulk, and then I'll paint on some primer. There's something I did down here that I actually love, and I'm gonna start doing on every painting project that we do, is I just added like a base layer of wood filler, that red Bondo putty, onto the actual top of the window here, and just sanded it down. So all these little red stripes that you see are actually indents in the wood that the Bondo filled in, and then I sanded down flat. So with a 220 grit, it actually came out really smooth, and my thought is this is the part of the window that people see most. I also did it to the top of the window up here, because if you're looking down on the window, this is going to be the part that you'll notice the most, as well as the top. So I think it's a nice touch, and I'm definitely going to keep doing it. So if you guys can see here, this is where my 2 patches were. And honestly, I sanded them down really nicely, added a few layers, started with a higher grit sandpaper and finished off with like a 220. And if you put your hand over it, it's really smooth. That's kind of what we want. We don't want you to be able to see that there's any work down there. And really, the big difference is going to come when I put primer on it. Because right now, it's just naked joint compound, and sheetrock stands out pretty aggressively as opposed to painted sheetrock, primed sheetrock. So everything else is painted and primed. These parts aren't. So once I prime them, and once we actually do 1 base layer of paint, everything will kind of blend in together nicely. My outfit's not as appeasing, but...
It is officially painting time. Eric did all the fun work. Trimming, caulking, what else?
You weren't even here for it. You don't even know what I did.
Well, I will be editing the video. But anyways, I'm going to be helping him trim. So let's get to it.
I look into your eyes, I see we're out of time. I guess no one's to blame, nobody crossed the line. I guess we couldn't see, somehow we couldn't feel. Maybe we rose too fast, maybe we got too high. But I remember days I wonder we were always gonna last. Yeah, I do remember tears and the laughter. How could we fall so Be honest.
All right, it's the morning after, and this is what the walls look like. We basically just painted the trim all the way around and also the ceiling. We still need to finish the windows. We ended so late last night that we just decided to prioritize anything that the wallpaper was gonna touch, but the wallpaper guys are coming in a second. However, I am still undecided if I should paint this part here so that it also is like, I don't know, a part of the dining room. I'm just so confused.
I met you during the golden age of television shows like Parks and Recreation. You just ended a long-term thing, and that was just a fling. Meant nothing, yeah, just a fling and meant nothing. Starfield sky, late September night, a twist of fate, your warm embrace. Yeah, I'm stuck on you, sir, stuck with me through all, through thick and thin, the mess we're in right now. We are having quite the ball, but so you know I'm in it for the long haul. 'Cause stuck on you, sir, stuck with me through all. I fell for you so fast. When I turned to two, I thought you had fallen to a starfield sky, late September night, a twist of fate, your warm embrace. Yeah, I'm stuck on you, sir, stuck with me through all, through thick and thin, the mess we're in right now. We are having quite the ball, but so you know I'm in it for the long haul. I love a strawberry side on the side next to you. No wasting time, can you tell me the truth? I'm feeling you, yeah, I'm feeling you. Oh, oh, be honest, tell me what's on your mind. Oh baby, when I lay my eyes on you from afar, I could swear I thought you fell from the stars. Think about you.
All right, it's officially the time to remove
Yeah.
the paper.
Hey, I'm just keeping it straight, 'cause you got me feeling distracted. Let me show you the way. Girl, I don't take it for granted. Why can't we just give it a go? Infatuated more than you know. I want you near with the same point of view. I'm always ready, so call me over. We're meant to be like the sun and the moon. I just want you to know I love a strawberry side on the side next to you. No wasting time, can you tell me the truth? I'm feeling you, yeah, I'm feeling you. Oh, oh, be honest, tell me what, honest, tell me why. I love a strawberry side on the side next to you. No wasting time, can you tell me the truth? I'm feeling you, yeah, I'm feeling you. Oh, oh, be honest, tell me what's on your mind. I'm
Okay. I'm gonna lift it up, move the dog, okay? Ready?
I want you near with the same point of view. I'm always ready, so call me over. We're meant to be like the sun and the moon. I just want you to know I love a strawberry side on the side next to you. No wasting time, can you tell me the truth? I'm feeling you, yeah, I'm feeling you. Oh, oh, be honest, tell me what's on your mind. Want you to know the silence so loud. I'm running out of patience. I need your love, babe. strawberry side on the side next to you. No wasting time, can you tell me the truth?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna prop it up on its side, then we're both gonna get on the sides and do this. So I'm gonna lift it up, you're gonna hold it, and then we're gonna go.
I don't think you're gonna be able to. No shot. No shot.
I can't get my fucking fingers under it.
Oh no.
Okay, I need you to lean back on
Why
this.
would they put these like that? Like, shouldn't that?
It's heavy enough. Just get on that side and try and lean it back. There we go. Do that again.
You're gonna get smashed.
Do it again.
I can't. You're gonna get smashed, Eric. Okay,
Okay,
how about you
you
do
slide
it
it
now?
under.
Can I slide? It's really not doing anything. At least it's real wood, you know what I mean? Oh my god. This is crazy. Oh no, 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 Eric, no,
Yes.
no shot. Let's let it be and have it.
Yeah, I want to do it now.
Like, it's not like you can't because you're not strong enough. You genuinely can't.
See, I can get your
So you can
fingers
get your
under it.
fingers under this.
Wait, Dan, do this. Like, grab it like this. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Oh!
Right.
Not bad.
Soft. Let's get it over the leg.
Okay.
All right. Hold on.
No,
Wait.
no. What do you mean? You just pick it.
Send it. Ready? You ready, Pat?
So easy.
3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, baby! That's some man shit!
Yeah.
Some man shit!
Unfortunately, that table's never moving again.
Wait, no, because we had to remove the paper.
That's not hard. Once you're up, you can just
We can lift, yeah, we can lift it.
Well, do you want us to put it where it's gonna go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me.
This way?
I think we should move it a little bit more back.
Good job, Daniel.
Thank you guys. You killed it.
All right.
Oh yeah, let me just
Hey, it's not
save.
wet.
Do you have the rug for under here?
No.
Not. Oh, we are.
Should we
Oh,
flip it
it's
back
fine.
over?
We'll invite you guys again. Just
Nice.
Dinner part 2.
Yeah. All
Where we
right.
going?
Shimmy to the back. Sorry.
Just
There,
put it under
there,
the leg.
there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Centered.
You're not centered at all.
Perfect.
That's us.
No.
We're gonna go this way.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's 2 minutes.
No, it's not. It's like.
Yeah.
Tilted.
So
There,
don't
yeah.
move your side. Move that side over.
Look, he
I just
fixed
did
it.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did?
Is it
Alright.
centered? I feel like it's.
I don't know. Yeah, it is.
Now it's good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You guys,
Looks good, honey.
It's crazy, we like built this house.
you guys made it look easy.
Real was easy.
Where's this going?
Yeah.
I was doing like a whole fit.
Let us hope to God that this actually fits.
I like that one. Yeah, I felt that really.
Yeah, the table's nice. Wait.
Is that
It's kind of heavy, bro.
Yo, tapa. Sí.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Just level it with.
I'll simmer down.
Have you ever
Right.
like-
It's officially time to do the final touches of the dining room. I feel like once we remove the paper from the floor, everything turned out to be go, 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 because that exact day that we started building the furniture, Eric got a truck full of our trash that we've been collecting in the garage. And we were waiting for the boxes of the furniture in this room to take to the dumpster. So it all went by really fast and I couldn't show you guys the wallpaper without any furniture. But let's show you the last few things that I really want to get done and add some decorating pieces. All right, like you guys saw, we ended up adding the rug, the table, and chairs. I recently got this carpet tape because there's some areas, like right here, but it's a little warped and it's been a month already and it's just not flattening how I thought. As you can see, I ended up wrapping some of the outlets with the existing wallpaper. I need to finish a few more around the room. I think it does add a really nice finishing touch to the area compared to just like a white outlet. I might have Eric change the white outlet to gold if I have the time to remember. But honestly, for now, these are great. I also changed this one, as you can see. I remember the guy was like, yeah, we can't really do that. It's not going to match. But I try my very best to match it as much as possible. And that's good enough for me. I also added this one right here. And yeah, I have just a few more around the room to finish. I'll show you how I do that in a little bit, but let's talk about the sideboard because this has been a topic of conversation, let's just say. I got this from CB2. I'm obsessed with it. I feel like it matches the room and the vibe perfectly. However, it's not the height that I had envisioned, especially for a tall family like us. I'm 5'9", Eric is 6'5", and it's just like standard. It's a standard sideboard height. It's not too bad. However, the one thing I love about it is that it has drawers and obviously shelves for plates and stuff. But the drawers honestly come in handy. Excuse the dust. It's been a month since we've installed this and I haven't finished it, but today's the day. So I need to wipe everything down because the dust in this house gets uncontrollable sometimes. So yeah, that's what the sideboard looks like with the dining table. This is the true color of the dining wood table, like from this angle. I'm obsessed. The only good thing about it is that honestly it matches perfectly in terms of the height with the dining room. So it's not too bad. I just wanted it to be a little higher. So all this time I've been contemplating if I want to return it or keep it, what to do about it. I've decided that I'm going to keep it. I do love it. It's been really difficult to find a sideboard that matches the vibe in this room. And this one does very seamlessly. And again, the height is warming up on me. I'm going to quickly clean it. So I ended up finding these lamps from HomeSense. And honestly, I think it just goes so perfectly, especially with the height and balancing everything out. I mean, the perfect set of lamps. These go so perfectly here with the height, the gold, the white. I just feel like it adds such a beautiful, romantic, and comforting touch to this room. And if you're wondering, the brand is Max Studio. In terms of adding a little bit more pizzazz and decor, I think I'm just going to add these books that I've been collecting. This one I actually got an APR package. Is the National Parks book. I love the leather material. This one is the Flower School. And then this one I ended up ordering to remind us of when we visited the Blenheim Palace, I think is how you pronounce it. All right, so we have 3 of these boxes, which basically has all of our china from our wedding. And now is that we're actually opening them. All right, unboxing these actually took me a lot longer than I anticipated, but here are the plates. Look at the detail. For every single dish, I ended up cutting a cardboard like that so that none of these get damaged. Maybe it's a little bit extra, but I think it's worth it. Those are the plates. Now for the mugs, the teacups, like I said, I'm going to be putting them here. These are, by the way, the curtains that I got for this room. I haven't installed these yet. All right. The day is finally here. We got our last furniture piece for the room, which means I feel like I can actually finally finish this room. It actually took me forever to find the perfect cabinet because I just couldn't find anything that was tall enough for our height and for the room. I feel like everything was a little too short and it just wasn't going to give that wow factor, and this one truly does. On top of that, finding the perfect wood color was also really hard that goes with the rest of the pieces, but I'm so obsessed with it. It's massive, like pretty tall. Also, it has lights. Let me see. I don't know if you can see, but it has some lights in there, which I didn't know until they put it all together today. The only con I have to give is the drawers are a little tight. I don't know if there's anything we can do about it, but maybe there's like something stuck on the sides that they forgot to remove. If not, it's honestly not that big of a deal. Like, I'm not really going to be using the drawers all that much, but overall, so in love with it. All we have left is to unbox all of our glassware. Hopefully nothing is broken. The alcohol, maybe like organize it and make it all pretty as well. Even though, to be honest, I don't want it to be just an aesthetic cabinet with like just decorations. I want it to be practical with the stuff that we actually need, because it's a really expensive piece and might as well use all the storage that we can. So in here, I'm going to be putting a few other plates that I recently got. Again, the glassware and our alcohol, and then fill it with pretty things. These are the last few wedding gifts to open. I just hope that everything is still intact, because it's been moved multiple times up and down. All right, I'm going to quickly clean the cabinet before putting anything in it with spray away glass cleaner. I'm also going to go in with this dust thing. I don't really know the name, but you guys know what I mean. The last empty section, I think I'm going to be putting some books. I ended up thrifting these from Goodwill for $1 each. And the reason why I did is because the actual like spine are so aesthetically pleasing. And then I got these marble bookends to put at the end of each side. All right, change of plans. Honestly, I don't really like the look of these. I think it just looks too wide and busy. I also have this random wooden knot on top. I think that's looking a little bit better. And I also have this little candle holder from Amazon. I need something smaller, or just to be. All right, so the last thing we have to do in this room is wrap every single outlet cover with the wallpaper to have it look like this and basically be more seamless. We have 5 more outlets to finish. The way that I did it was basically cut out a section of the wallpaper from similar areas or the exact same roll. I cut out a rectangle with the plate in the center and then about 1 inch in each corner. So let's get to wrapping. All right, so I basically like to just take a quick look at the drawing, place the plate where I want to, and then I also want to make sure that the top is the correct way. So I'm just going to quickly remove the sticker part and then pretty much just place it right in the center. And then here in the back, I'm just going to make sure that everything is nicely taped with no air bubbles. And if there is any, you can just quickly pull it up and perfect it. All right, so then I'm just going to cut at an angle in each of the corners. And then also in the middle. Hopefully that didn't mess up. Yeah. And then here in the middle, I just like to make kind of like a star or just pretty much cut in every single corner possible. So then I like to start in the middle and just wrap everything inside, kind of like a present. And then in terms of which one I like to start with, I like to start with the sides first. So I'm just gonna put it like this and then wrap it inside. This one has some pieces that are like too long, so I'm just gonna cut that. That way everything just sticks nicely. And same with the other side. I'm just going to do this to flatten it easier. Remove the bottom pieces if they're glued. And then, just wrap it in. Like a gift again. If you make any mistakes, you can easily like unwrap it, which is the best part in my opinion of wallpaper. It doesn't have to look pretty, obviously, on the inside, as long as it's nice on the outside. So again, I just like to lay it flat, that way it's like nicely taped, and then wrap it in. And it should look like this. And then this is what it's supposed to look like. And now let's put these on. All right, time for the official walkthrough. First of all, words can describe how in love I am with this room. It is officially my favorite room of the house. Starting with, of course, the best part and what makes this room is the wallpaper. I immediately knew that I wanted to do something like this in the house. Like the second we bought the house, I knew I wanted to make kind of like a moody room, and this dining room truly worked perfectly for that. So I was on the hunt for the perfect wallpaper, and I had no idea how expensive wallpaper is. And this was the most affordable option I found from Wall Blush, and truly loved it. The only thing I would say or suggest is to go with the actual glue-on wallpaper instead of the peel and stick. We went with the peel and stick because I genuinely thought that would be easier, and I thought we were going to do it ourselves. Thank God we hired someone though. If you live in New York or Connecticut, I don't know if he does New Jersey, but I can share his information with you guys. But he truly made it work so seamlessly, and it all looks amazing. All that to say, the actual peel and stick material is amazing quality, but he suggested for us to do a glue-on next time if we do another room. So just wanted to share that with you guys. I wish you guys could see exactly what it looks like in person because the backlight is really not giving it justice. But since the wallpaper is really woodsy, everything blends in really nicely, which I love. I wish I showed you guys how it looked like with the hydrangeas all white. We do need to add some hardware here. And I was considering curtains, but I just don't think we'll be doing curtains because I feel like it would take away from the wallpaper. Part of me feels like there's something missing, but if we do curtains, they would start here and here, which then it would be in the way of the clock, and that's also one of my favorite pieces here. And then this window is a little bit short on that side, so it would just be too much fabric in my opinion. I was also considering, that was a clock, but I was also considering putting shades here. Maybe that's an option, but again, I just don't want to take away from the actual view and the wallpaper, so we might leave it as is. Now, furniture-wise, this table took me so long to source. I was on the hunt for something traditional, but also modern and timeless at the same time. and I ended up stumbling upon this masterpiece. It is the most beautiful, rich, dark wood. We struggled a lot, like you guys saw, because this is so heavy. So flipping it once it was built, moving it to put the rug was a mission and a half, and it actually took us a couple people to help us move this, but I don't regret it at all. It is the most perfect piece for this room. I love the legs as well. I feel like you can barely see, but they're like an oval size down there. This is an extendable table, so it fits, I believe, 12 people or more. It is perfection and I love it. I think the brand is Friends and Son. I hope it's still available because it is truly a masterpiece. And then for the chairs, I wanted to keep it in a budget because we did need a lot and I was preferring to invest in a table rather than chairs. And these work perfectly. I love that the wood, even though it's slightly lighter, it still blends in with the rest of the furniture. And I knew I wanted to go for something lighter, so this truly worked perfect. The rug is Ralph Lauren from Home Goods. This little vase I got at an antique fair, and the hydrangeas I dried from the front, which I think it's such a beautiful touch. The light was also something that took me forever to source because I knew I needed a rectangular chandelier light fixture. Another struggle is that our ceilings are standard, so we needed something that was short enough or that we could like adjust. And this one we ended up adjusting and removing a few of the rods up here, but I think it works amazing. And this is actually the same light fixture we have in our bedroom, but in our bedroom we have the round version of this. Side note, but this vent is the ugliest thing ever. We needed to spray paint it and I totally forgot. So that is on the to-do list. Like you guys saw, I was a little conflicted if I wanted to paint the inside frame green to match with the rest of the room. And I ended up leaving it white, and I honestly love it because it doesn't take away from the room, but it still gives the wow effect once you get closer to the room and you get to see the masterpiece inside. These sconces are also a vintage find, another amazing one, and they actually match the ones that we have back here. They are the same gold. Another vintage find was this stunning clock. This was the very first antique find that I found, and truly what made me fall in love with antiquing. I always have loved antiquing, but this is what initiated my obsession. I always knew I wanted to put it in this room, and it truly worked perfectly. And my mom actually told me that it feels like it's coming out of the trunk from the back, which is another amazing touch. Here's a closer look to the table. It's just perfection. My number one advice when designing a room or decorating is take your time finding the right pieces because it will be worth it in the end. For me, that has been the hardest part, but honestly the most gratifying because you end up finding pieces that will last you a lifetime and pieces that you truly love. This one in particular was very hard for me to source. When looking for a buffet table, I knew I wanted something dark wood, but with drawers, and it's so hard to find something with drawers by the looks of it. This one has 3 drawers, which is one of my favorite parts about it. I have some placemats here, napkins here. I have our knives, and then down here, I have our china. So these are actually wedding gifts, and I love these so much. These are some of the most beautiful plates ever. That's the brand. So it has this area, and then it also has these 2 sides. Oh, I have some vintage plates here. To balance out this furniture piece, I wanted to put 2 lamps here, and these turned out perfectly because they have the height, but also very like minimal with the brass and a thin and long structure, which I love. And then here we have some coffee table books. This one we got when we went to England, and I added this cute little reindeer candle snuffer. Candle and these candlesticks, which are like a work of art. Another detail that I feel like truly helped complete the room was covering the plates for the light switches with the actual wallpaper. I tried my best to find pieces that were similar to the background, and I feel like it blends in really nicely. Now, this cabinet was another piece that was so difficult for us to find. When designing the room, I kind of wanted one here and one here, and thankfully, I just went with one. Again, every single furniture piece took me a long time, but this one in particular, because I knew I wanted something tall, and I couldn't find anything within my budget that was tall enough, that had lights. The lights actually were a surprise once they arrived, but I wanted something that had height, glass, and drawers, and this was truly made for this room. But I am obsessed. This is actually not black. It's throwing off black, but it's like a really dark brown. I don't even know if you could tell, but I still love the fact that it's darker than the rest of the furniture because in my opinion, it blends in with the wallpaper. And yeah, I love it. I love it so much. In terms of organizing this was a mission and a half. I had no idea how difficult it is to curate and like organize a well-balanced cabinet, but I try my best. I tried to put everything kind of like this and it worked out. So I have glasses here, glasses there, some of the hard liquor here, some greenery, plants, filler, and it worked great. We have some of our favorite wines here. These books were $1 each at Goodwill, so definitely check them out. And then these are our decanters. But yeah, I love how it turned out. And then let me actually show you. The light is here on the side and it's so perfect. And then for the drawers, I have some more plates here. These are stunning green, vintage looking plates. Here, I'm planning on putting the knives, and then these bottom ones are empty. And then lastly, I decided to put this stunning spaghetti plant in this corner, which I got as a gift for my studio apartment from my mother-in-law. And it's humongous now. Like, I got it when it was like this, no joke. And it's now this huge plant, and I feel like it blends really well with the wallpaper. But yeah, that's pretty much our finished dining room. I am so in love with how it turned out. I hope you guys love it as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be linking most, if not everything, down below, so make sure to check it out, and see you next time.